Okay, cool. Sorry, yeah. So I just had a text from one of you guys. Thanks, Tess, for that. So you guys can hear me, which is good. So yeah, so we'll be good to crack on. So yeah, what we're gonna do tonight, then, guys. Hopefully, it'll just kind of take me about sort of like half an hour, maybe a little bit less. Just to really kind of go through the kind of very basics behind the nutrition, and just to make sure that you guys can actually kind of basically dominate the nutritional element of the program. Any questions that you get throughout the short presentation, if you can put them in the chat box on your screen, then pop it in there. If that's not up there for some reason, then just kind of jot them down, and you guys can kind of you can ask them at the end. And what I'll do, I'll just kind of unlock everyone's microphone so I'll be able to hear you. Alright, so what we're going to chat about this evening, let's have a look. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about first off is the bigger picture. Okay, so kind of looking at beyond the kind of 28-day program. Okay, so it's very, very important to kind of realize that the program that you guys are on isn't just like a quick fix. Okay, so we're going to actually talk about that. I'm going to talk to you about why we're actually doing the whole detox phase. If you've read the book, then you kind of know this already, but it kind of helps if I sort of spell it out to you guys as well. We're then going to have a little look about planning, implementation, and then domination. Okay, and then you guys can kind of shoot some questions at me as we go. Now, with the presentation, for some reason I'm a bit not very bright, and I can't kind of figure out how to make it just do like one line at a time, so you just get the whole slide come up. So hopefully you kind of be able to follow me well enough though. So look, we're going to look at the bigger picture first off, as I said. Now, one of the things that people ask me a lot of the time, or seem like a misconception people have, is that based on the nutritional principles that you start off with, is that you basically have to live your life like a nutritional monk. Now, what I mean by that is where we're binning off like a load of the fun stuff, so to speak. So, you know, the wheat, gluten, yeast, dairy, processed foods, all that sort of crap, where we're getting rid of that. People sort of think a lot of the time, oh my God, that guy's not going to let me eat any of those things ever again. I'm going to have the worst life ever. So what we got to do there is basically say to you, it's not a case of you're never going to eat X, Y, and Z again. What we're doing, and I'll talk to you about the kind of whys in a minute, is what we're doing is we're booting all that stuff out, and there's some very specific reasons that we're doing that. And I said I'll kind of go through those in a minute. So no, you don't have to live your life like a nutritional monk. Okay. When the way I see it, balance is key. Okay, so you know, long term, it's a case of making sure that you've got a nutritional strategy which is going to enable you to get and remain how you want to look, feel, and how you want your body to perform as well. Okay, so balance really is key. Okay. And you know, probably the most important thing to point out as well is that, you know, regardless of what you're trying to achieve in this program or life in general, you've got to do what you need to do to get where you want to be. Okay, so if you've got the plan to get to Z, okay, you need to you need to do A, B, and C in order to get there. Okay, so long as you know what you need to do in order to get where you're going to go, then you should be good. Okay, it's very, very important that you do realize that if you know the results that I'm promising you on the program. In order to get those, you need to follow the program. Yes, you know, if you just did the training, you know, you might get, you know, you drop a couple of pounds and, you know, maybe feel a little better. But like the best training program in the world isn't going to do you much good at all without actually kind of following a decent nutritional strategy. Okay, so as I said, got to do what you need to do to get where you want to go. Okay, get where you want to be. All right. So that's kind of looking at the bigger picture. From my point of view, the fitness camp is not just a quick fix. In fact, it's not just my point of view. That's what it is. It's not a quick fix. Yes, I guarantee a result within X time, which is, you know, pretty rapid time. Yes, the results we get fast. But the thing that I absolutely hate, and I'm actually changing things around a little bit, ready for the next program in terms of sign-ups and that for this, is I absolutely hate when someone comes along, gets great results, you know, drops a stone or something, then buggers off, goes back to exactly how they were before, because they've not actually made the lifestyle change. They've not looked at the bigger picture. Okay, so that's something I really want to get across to you. Okay, it's a lifestyle change we're trying to make here on the program. All right, so next up, the detox. Okay, so I want to actually basically talk to you about the first couple of weeks of the program. All right, so if you've read the book, which you should have done by now because you've had it for like ages, is you know, you should kind of know about this bit already. But basically, how we're doing the whole detox kind of thing. We're not, we're not asking you to drink like loads of, just liquid like juices and stuff like that, and taking like ackee berry and all that sort of shite. Excuse me, I might swear a couple of times if I do. I'm very, very sorry. So tell your children to cover their ears. Basically, what we're doing, we're getting rid of all the bad stuff. So wheat, gluten, yeast, dairy, processed foods, added sugar, the booze and the caffeine. We're getting rid of all that stuff. Okay, if you want to know why we're getting rid of all that stuff, just check it out in the book, because this evening we're really this is kind of just a real quick blast, telling you what to do as opposed to kind of just why to do it. So have a read through the book if you've not done that already. Okay, so then where we're getting rid of all that stuff, we're then loading up on the fresh stuff. So a load of lean meat, fish, eggs, veggies, all that sort of stuff, all the good stuff. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Why are we doing that? There's a few reasons why we're actually doing this phase and why it is so critically important to actually you getting the results. And I think it's kind of important to understand why we're doing it if you're actually going to make sure that you do it properly and do benefit from it properly. Okay, so one of the top reasons is to restore your hormonal balance, or certainly to get things working a whole lot better from the inside out. Okay, if your diet's been kind of less than great for the last few weeks, months, or even years, okay, then right now your blood sugar levels are messed up, your cortisol levels are probably messed up, and a whole pile of other things going on inside your body aren't too great right now, which is leading you to be lacking energy, waking up feeling still crap in the morning, bloated feelings, and generally not ticking over as you want to be. Okay, so that's one of the reasons we're doing the whole detox phase for the first 2 to 4 weeks, is to actually start restoring that hormonal balance, getting you looking, feeling, and moving better from the inside out. Okay, one of the big things we're doing is actually allowing your liver to function a whole lot better as well. Your liver's like really responsible for kind of processing all the crap that goes through your body. If you've been kind of taking in less than great food, so processed things and anything containing like chemicals, added sugars, all that sort of stuff, your liver's kind of been overloaded for quite some time. If you've been taking in too many kind of naughty foods like that, then basically what happens is the toxins actually end up getting stored within your fat cells. Okay, surrounding those is a load of water as well. Okay, so within you've basically in your fat cell you're going to have the toxin, whatever the hell it is, and then basically your body's solution to pollution is dilution. Okay, so it's actually diluting the toxins by chucking some water in there as well. Okay, which gives you that even more added weight. Okay, so that's one of the things we're doing there. Basically, by stopping bringing in all the toxins and the naughty stuff, we're actually allowing your body to say, right, we don't actually need all this shite in our cells. Let's get it out of there, bring it back in the bloodstream, let the liver do its job, and then we can get rid of it. Okay, and that's actually one of the reasons that for the first few days you might feel a bit crap, because you're actually, if you imagine you've got all this crap coming out of your cells into your bloodstream, it's bound to have a bit of an effect. Sometimes people, occasionally someone might get a cold, or they might, get a couple of spots or something on the face that they don't usually have. But you come out sort of 3 or 4 days later, completely new person, so that's all good. Reducing nutritional stress. Eating any food, basically, anytime you eat, you're actually stressing your body. Okay, so if I'm putting some broccoli in my mouth, it's causing some form of stress within my body. My body's got to react to it and do something with it. Okay, now eating something like a Mars bar is obviously going to cause a lot more stress than maybe some broccoli. Okay, so we're looking to reduce the amount of nutritional stress going into your body. Okay, and actually allowing your body to be better able to cope with the stress that goes in there as well. All right, which is one of the big things as well. Obviously, one of the main reasons you're on the program is to drop body fat, look hotter, and feel awesome. That's pretty much the 3 reasons that people come and want to come and train with me and train with us at fitness camp. They want to lose a bit of weight, a little fat. They want to look a lot hotter, and they want to feel a lot better as well. And it's the bottom one I think is the most important out of all of those. The first 2 kind of feed into the third one there. All right, so look, we're going to look at planning for success now, and I actually banged a blog post out on this a little while ago, I think over maybe a week or 2 ago, so hopefully you've read that. If you've not, just go andysloanfitness.com and just scroll down, and there's one in there. I think it's like the busy person's guide to meal plan or something, but have a look on there. Now, if you're going to absolutely dominate your nutrition, it is pretty much essential that you actually plan it, okay? It's really, really important. I can't emphasize this enough. So many people kind of say to me, Andy, my nutrition's gone a little bit crap now, and when I ask them, what the reason is, it's, oh, I just don't know what to eat. The reason they don't know what to eat is because they're not thought about what to eat at the start of the week, okay? Just trying to freestyle it, and if you're kind of just getting on this for like the first time and you're maybe not used to it, then freestyling it ain't quite going to cut it, okay? So it's really important at the start of the week to plan your meals, okay? Maybe do it on like maybe a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning or something, and then you've got time to kind of plan your shopping list out, okay? And you can get the shops, get everything in that you need. If you need to do a bit of cooking or some baking on the weekend, then you can get that nailed as well, and then basically set yourself up for success in the week, as opposed to just trying to wing it, which will generally set you up for failure, okay? Which is obviously not what you want to do. In terms of your shopping, you kind of want to do it sort of like every 3 to 4 days, kind of like loading up on the fresh stuff. If you're eating a load of fresh food, then you'll find the fresher the better, really. So there's no good having kind of a broccoli sat in your cupboard for like a week or so, because it's obviously going to start to deteriorate if you're eating fresh stuff. So every sort of 3 to 4 days, don't be surprised if you find yourself popping to the shop and loading up on a bit of fruit and a bit of veggies and stuff like that as well. Okay, keeps you on your toes as well, which is always good. Planning things out actually allows you to kind of factor in things like eating out and events and stuff. If you've got like a kid's birthday, or you got like a works do, or anything along those lines, you can kind of factor it in there as well. Outside of the first couple of weeks, you can be more flexible on your nutritional side of things and that, really. But like, for instance, if I'm in, if I know that I'm going out for a meal with like my wife's family or something on a Friday night, I can make sure that the rest of the week that all my meals are bang on, and I'm going to do a workout that day as well, and basically kind of damage limitation there. So if you know that if you're going to be going out on the weekend for a meal, or as I said, you've got like a kid's birthday or whatever that you've got to go to, then it's a good idea to kind of as I said, plan that into your weekly meal structure. So as I said, you can kind of factor it in and make sure that it's not going to be a massive kind of roadblock to you, okay? Because it doesn't have to be. Making sure you're striking the right balance and actually turning this into a whole lifestyle thing is all about factoring in things, as opposed to just completely booting everything out for life. All right, implementation. Okay, so now as I said, you should have read the book, so you kind of you should have all this stuff pretty much down, and you should just about know all this stuff, hopefully. And I kind of bang on about it quite a lot, but we're just kind of going to go through it again, just so you got it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So the absolute number one thing, and this is something that people fall down on quite a lot, is you need to drink a lot of water. Well, it's not actually a lot, but to most people who are living their life dehydrated, it seems like a lot. And you want to have about 1 litre per 50 pounds of body weight per day. So if you weigh like 150 pounds, or what's that? That would be just probably just less than about 11 stone. Then you want to be taking on about 3 litres of water a day. Which as I said, if you've not been drinking too much water in so far, then that's going to seem quite a lot. Getting that down isn't really all that difficult. Wake up in the morning, neck a pint down there before you even get started into like your breakfast. If you keep like a 2 litre bottle of water with you at work and make sure that's gone by like the end of the working day, then you're in business. And then a drink with your evening meal, and you're pretty much there. Okay, if you really can't get that much water down, then absolute minimum of 2 litres, okay? I really do prefer you to make sure you're getting what I've kind of written up there, so the litre per 50 pounds of body weight a day, but absolute minimum 2 litres, okay? So if you're someone who doesn't drink any water, or barely drinks any water until you started this, then do make sure it's absolute minimum of that 2 litres. In a nutshell, if your body's dehydrated, it's not going to give up fat, okay? It's certainly not going to be as efficient at giving up fat, okay? You need to get that water down. Can't overemphasize that enough. Rotate your meats, okay? This one's pretty important, and I'll kind of go through it a bit more in a second as well, but you don't want to be eating the same thing every single meal. Number one, it sucks because it's boring as hell, and number two, a bit of chicken is never going to give you the nutrients that a bit of steak is going to give you, and a bit of steak isn't ever going to give you the nutrients that a bit of chicken is going to give to you. Okay, your body needs a pile of different nutrients, every day in order to, kind of function properly and hit different kind of spots. Basically, it's kind of, so to speak. So to cover all the bases, you want to really kind of rotate your meats and your veggies as well. Really, so like with your meats, for instance, you might have like one night you might have chicken, you might have turkey the next day, maybe some beef, next day you might have some lamb or some fish or whatever. Really do try and not just eat the same thing every day. If all you're eating for your evening meal is chicken, then in effect you're kind of missing out on a load of nutrients which you could be getting from a different meat source. And the same goes for your veggies and your fruits as well, which I should have written fruits down as well, but never mind. So with your veggies, try and rotate those as well. Brighter the better, so loads of different colours down every day is always good. I'd load right up on the green vegetables as well, so like the leafy green stuff. One of the things on the subject of veggies as well is trying to get over the fact that eating vegetables in the morning is weird. It's not, okay? Getting your veggies down in the morning is a really, really decent way to get some quality nutrients in there that are actually going to help you out for the whole day, and it's certainly going to kick the crap out of some Special K and super low fat milk. If you're a veggie as well, you want to rotate your other protein sources as well. So like basically don't just live off like pumpkin seeds. You might have chickpeas and lentils one day. You might have like kidney beans and butter beans or something the next day, and nuts and seeds and all those sorts of things. Really do try and kind of rotate it so you're not just eating the same thing every single day. On the subject of veggies as well, one thing that it is quite helpful for every now and again for a vegetarian is to actually have like a decent quality protein shake, just because I know that eating certain vegetarian foods kind of do get non-meat protein sources do tend to get a little bit boring, or I certainly couldn't live with them, and sometimes a bit of a pain in the arse as well, like if you're talking like beans and pulses. So the one I actually recommend, if you went on like Amazon and just put in the search engine there, Sun Warrior rice protein. Yeah, Sun Warrior rice protein. There's a good vegan protein there. There's like a chocolate one, a vanilla one. There's like no crap in them, and they're pretty good. Certainly like post workout, that's something pretty decent to get down your neck. In particular, that's quite good for anyone who's kind of like if you're in a bit of a rush straight after training as well. It's actually pretty good. All right, yes, we've already kind of covered this. Don't eat the same thing every day. If you're trying to do the nutrition program and you're just eating like chicken and steamed sprouts every dinner time, then you're really missing a trick. Don't eat the same thing every day. You really do need a wide variety of nutrients in order to maximise the results that you're actually going to get from the program. Okay, so as we said, rotate. Next one's actually adapting to suit your life. Now you should have had a meal planner from me. Like there's the veggie one for 5 days and a 7-day, the body blitz one as well. Adapt to suit your life. That's if you've been kind of following the meal plan, it's not a you must eat this at this time. It's a kind of here's an idea, crack on with it, adapt it. Okay. There's very little point with me telling most people eat X, Y, and Z at X, Y, and Z time, because it's just not practical. So you got to kind of, this is where kind of like planning comes into it as well. It's basically adapting the nutrition to suit your life, and just finding little things that you can do to make it super easy to kind of incorporate the nutrition in your life, and actually mean that you're not having to kind of end up getting back to like microwaving meals, or like banging a pizza in the oven, or whatever you're kind of doing before. All right. The next one's one of my favourites, and as I said, I was hoping I could have it so it just comes up one line at a time, because you probably already read this one. But learn to tell people to piss off. As I said, this is one of my favourite ones. Over the next couple of weeks, you'll like, if you work in an office or wherever with other people, you're likely going to have the next couple of weeks people seeing you eating like a salad or like a handful of nuts, and you're going to have people saying, what are you doing that for? Why are you doing that? Blah, 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 blah. Why don't you have a biscuit? It's so-and-so's birthday. Here's some cake. Get it down your neck. Go on, just one. Come out for a drink tonight. We're only just having a couple. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. If these guys are friends, or you even like work with them, and they should, you'd hope kind of care about you. They shouldn't be doing that. Really, it's kind of sort of like, just in a nutshell, well, sort of kind of sabotage you a lot of the time. It seems like, and I've written a blog post on this sometime on the members site as well. But basically, learn to tell them to piss off. I mean, you don't have to use those words. words in particular. I mean, if you want to drop an F-bomb, then crack on with that as well. But you know, to be honest, it's not helpful when people are kind of trying to sabotage it. If you're kind of trying to follow a program and do a good thing, and get your body on track, get your health on track, and start looking, feeling, and performing a whole lot better. What you don't need is people being kind of negative and that towards it. So as I said, I generally just tell people to piss off. I used to get it all the time actually when I stopped drinking initially, because I was working on beach lifeguarding, and all the lads would go out and get hammered every now and again, and I used to go and do that and drink a load of cheddar or whatever with them. And the first sort of few months, maybe even you get it a bit now. In fact, where I'm at, I pop in the town every now and again. All the time, people say, "Oh, go on, have a drink. Go on, just get a drink down there." So, comes to state. Sometimes people actually buy you a drink and try and make you drink it. But I use those two little words, and that soon sorts that out. The next one is be selfish. Yes, selfish. Now, take this with a bit of a pinch of salt. However, I think it's actually a pretty valid point, which not a lot of people have actually kind of think about. If you want something in life, sometimes you do need to be a bit selfish. I actually came across this kind of concept of being selfish in this way when I started training for Ironman probably 4 years ago. I was chatting to a guy, and he said, one thing he said to me is, "Andy, over the next year, you're going to have to, if you want to achieve what you want to achieve and get across that line, you've got to be a bit selfish." And I didn't really understand what he meant to start off with, and then he kind of explained it to me, and I was like, right, yeah, you're pretty much bang on. And as the year and now years have gone on, you kind of do realise that, yeah, if you want to achieve what you want to achieve, you do have to be a bit selfish. Okay, you do have to put yourself first. And you know what? You shouldn't be afraid to put yourself first. If you've got like a husband or wife or kids or whatever, don't be afraid to put yourself first every now and again. Okay, if you're hitting this nutrition plan, and your kid or your husband, he wants to have like a pie or a pasty for dinner, or that's what he usually has on a Friday night, but you ain't going to cook that, then be selfish, right? Look, this is your plate, get it down here. That's what I've cooked. That's what you make. I said, you got to just be a little bit selfish. Don't be afraid to be, and just enjoy doing something for yourself is, I guess, one of the main points with that one. All right, domination. Okay, cool. So I've talked about like the very basics there, and these things here are just like some extra things you can do that are actually going to help you to maximize your results. These are the things that sometimes people kind of neglect and just don't bother doing, and you can tell the ones that don't do these because their results, they're good, but sometimes they don't get as good results as the person that is implementing all these things. Okay, so the first one is supplementation. All right. Now I'm not going to go into great detail with this because you can read all this stuff in the Nutrition Bible, and I'll actually bang some links up in the Facebook group today for you guys as well. But basically, the ones I recommend is omega-3, so some fish oil, a good quality one, magnesium, zinc, some Tulsi tea, which is actually good in particular if you're like stressed, if you're a stressed person, and coconut oil. Probably shouldn't have put that in a supplementation bit because it's just food. But the deal with coconut oil, and I get asked this like all the time, much better to cook with than a liquid oil. If you're cooking with like a olive oil, which a lot of people kind of think is healthy, it's not. Olive oil is great if you're kind of putting it on like a salad dressing and basically not heating it and tampering with it. But if you heat an oil that's liquid at room temperature, what you're actually doing is changing its chemical composition and rendering it pretty much unuseful from your body. And in a nutshell, it just end up in your fat stores and not getting used for anything too great. Okay. Just to kind of give you a super quick example of that is if you were to like cook something in like a olive oil or vegetable oil or something in like a frying pan, then leave the frying pan overnight, you get back and have a look in the morning and it's gone solid. That's basically because, as I said, it's changed its chemical composition. Something like coconut oil, which is a solid at room temperature, is much more stable to cook with. When you cook with it, it turns into a liquid, but then it goes back into its normal solid state as soon as it kind of cools down. Okay, so it actually it remains the same. Okay, so your body can actually utilize it. Coconut oil is actually good for helping to boost your metabolism as well, and it can actually kind of act as sort of a fuel source as well. Like if you're on like a low carb day, then a spoonful of that can actually help to just increase your energy levels and a pile of other stuff as well. I'll chuck an article out at some point soon. Next one is sleep. If you can, at least 5 nights a week, try and get your ass to bed by like 10 o'clock, lights out 10:30. It won't be the same if you're in bed 12 o'clock, lights out 12:30, okay? It's really important to make sure you're getting the sleep in order to help your body, you know, grow and repair, and generally help you make sure that you're able to smash it. If your body's not able to kind of repair itself well enough, then you're not going to get the results. Okay, in the night time you're getting some human growth hormone getting released. Okay, if you're kind of not getting enough sleep, then you're basically going to be limiting the effects that can have on your body, and subsequently the effect it'll have on your metabolism as well. Stress. Now this is a tough one. If in particular if you live in a stressed lifestyle, if you've got like 8 kids and like 4 dogs and a really busy job and whatever else, sit in traffic all the time, but stress and absolute pain in the ass is something that we just got to kind of learn to deal with. You really want to kind of minimize your stress if you can. So if you've got like a really naughty kid, just like sending them to boarding school or something, if that's going to work. But yeah, easier said than done, but do try and minimize your stress if you can. One thing you can actually do I find actually kind of helps to sort of de-stress is literally just, once a day, twice a day, just take maybe 5-10 minutes, just quiet time, just on your Todd. Just sit yourself down somewhere, whether it's in your bedroom or just somewhere where there's just no one else. Just sit down, close your eyes, just deep breathing, and just kind of just shut everything out and just relax. It actually makes a pretty big difference. Sort of 5 or 10 minutes of that day, and I actually find it's actually pretty helpful. So that's pretty good. The next one is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, now on this, if you're following this nutrition program for the first time, chances are it's a bit alien to you and it feels a bit weird at the minute because, you're no longer eating anything out of a packet and you've sacked off your morning coffee and you're basically doing a whole pile of things that maybe do make you feel a bit uncomfortable because it's just not natural to you because you've just not been eating that way before. But what I want you to do is get comfortable with it. Okay, get out of that comfort zone and kind of get used to it. With regard to the training side of things as well, again, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, I want you guys kind of getting used to going that extra yard. Okay, getting that extra cut of reps done. Okay, I want you again getting comfortable with puffing out your ass when you're doing your burpees. Whatever. I want you getting comfortable with trying to bang out that extra cut of reps. Getting comfortable with that horrible feeling in your thighs when you just think you can't squat anymore, but some prick in the middle of the room tells you to do just 5 more. Okay, I want you to try and start getting comfortable with that feeling. Get out of the comfort zone and just start to embrace it and enjoy it. All right, it's going to be well worth it. All right, where's my next slide? All right, cool. So just a really super quick one, just regard to pre and post workout nutrition, because it's something I get asked about quite a lot. Is what should I eat before training and after training and all that jazz. So it depends if you train in the morning or the evening, really, but we'll look at the morning one first off. Bottom line, I think generally is whatever feels good. So if you're someone who needs to eat before you come and train at 6:30, then get something down your neck. If you're not, don't worry about it. Training in a fasted state, so when you've not actually had any breakfast, is actually pretty good and can actually help your fat loss quite a bit. So don't feel that you've got to try and cram like an 8-egg omelette down your neck half an hour before you get down and to start smashing around a load of press-ups and squats and stuff with us, okay? So if you don't want to eat in the morning, don't worry about it. Most important thing to do is your post-workout one, which I'll kind of talk about in a minute. All right, if you're training in the evening, then I'd say the most important thing to do is not turn up hungry, because if you're hungry, then sometimes you maybe, I personally don't get a great workout because I'm just thinking, crap, I need to get some food down my neck. So if, for instance, you're coming straight from work, then it's a good idea to maybe get something down your neck at, I don't know, perhaps sort of 4:30, something like that, if possible. Even if it's just like like a handful of like nuts or seeds or something, and some fruit or whatever else. Just get something down your neck that's just going to satisfy and make sure you're not going in like a completely ravenous when you get to training. Okay, when we're looking at post-workout, so after training, Very, very, very important to, and some of the evening guys won't be doing this at the minute, very important to get a meal down your neck within about half an hour of training. Basically, after training, you've got like about a 30-minute window when your body's actually crying out to get some fuel in there. During the session, you're actually using up your glycogen stores, which is basically a stored carbohydrate within your muscles, okay? After training, your body's thinking, crap, I need to get those bad boys replenished, I need to get some sugars in me, I need to get some proteins in me so I can start rebuilding, get big, strong, boost the metabolism, all that jazz. So within that half hour, what I would suggest is you want to get something relatively kind of high GI, so glycemic index, so something that's a little bit more sugary. So something like a banana, for instance, is a super easy example, or like white rice, for instance, is alright as well. Something along those lines. You need to get a decent source of protein down your neck as well. So there we're talking about things like eggs, fish, chicken, meat, whatever. One of those vegan protein shakes which I was talking about earlier on as well. Something like that is good to get down your neck. Again, within about 30 minutes. After training, you want to go kind of low fat as well. Basically, any fat and fiber as well will actually kind of slow the rate at which the proteins actually get shuttled into the muscles, and kind of not going to actually give you as big an effect that you actually want there. So yeah, I'd go relatively high GI. So as I said, relatively kind of sweet. Decent amount of protein, minimal fat, not too much fiber in there as well. This is why, like, when people ask me about like dried fruit, I'll say, look, if you want to have it, then literally just get it down your neck straight after training or a little bit before, because then your body's actually going to use it, as opposed to it just kind of spiking your insulin levels and your blood sugar, sorry, and then your insulin levels going through the roof and kind of growing love handles and all that sort of stuff. Alright, starchy carbs. Okay, so we're talking about sort of rice, potato, sweet potato, stuff like that, okay? We're not talking about bread because you've bin that crap off already. Rye bread as well, you want to bin off if you've not done that yet, because it's gluten in there, in fact. So yeah, if you're having rye bread, then I'd kind of sack that one off as well, please. Alright, so in terms of like starchy carbs, what you got to think about is these are the things that are giving you a good bit of energy on a non-workout day. So a day when you're not actually working out, you don't really need all that surplus of energy going into your body. You know, it tastes good, but you don't generally need it really. Because you're not actually going to be using it up. Okay, on a day when you're actually doing a decent bit of training, then probably a good idea to get something, as I said, like some wheat potatoes or some potato or some quinoa or some rice or something like that down your neck is a good idea. If you're training like in the morning, then get a decent amount down, maybe sort of straight after training is pretty good. If you're going to train in the evening, then you might want to get it down with your lunch, or even if it's a case of just chucking like a big handful of rice on your salad, then you can do that then, and that's all cool. One of the kind of misconceptions that people sometimes have about the nutritional strategy we kind of implement on the program is you're not allowed to have carbs, and so many people have said to me in the past, Andy, why aren't I allowed to have carbs on your nutrition program, on your diet, whatever? And it's basically not read anything. You're allowed to eat carbohydrates, and carbohydrates aren't the devil. It's carbohydrate timing which is key. Okay, so the timing of these bad boys, which is the thing we really need to look at. So like what I'm talking about, getting the sweeter stuff in sort of straight after training, and the sort of more starchier stuff, so like the slower release stuff there on training days generally. If you're hitting those two things, then you're pretty much not going to be going too far wrong. All right, next up, fruit. Okay, so fruit, I banged a blog on that a while ago as well. So again, just andysloanfitness.com. Just scroll down. There's a good post on there on fruit and just talking about that in a bit more detail. But in a nutshell, if you're eating like 20 bits of fruit a day and thinking it's healthy, it's not, okay? There's a pile of sugar in fruit. Now, fruit, again, it's not the devil, but at the same time, you don't want to be going nuts on it because it is sugary and it is going to still spike your blood sugar levels and your insulin levels. And a lot of the time, if someone maybe comes to me after like a couple of weeks and says, Andy, I've not actually lost any weight this week. It's like, right, show me a food diary. And they're having like, like a grapefruit and 2 oranges in the morning, a cut of bananas before lunch and so on and so forth, a packet of grapes on the drive home from work. It's one of my favourites actually. And it's pretty clear to see that what's happening there, okay? So if you're going completely berserk on fruit, then don't, because it's really not going to do too much good. That said, as I said, fruit's not a devil. It's great for you, just don't go nuts on it. Things like berries and cherries are good options, but as I said, I've blocked blogged about that, so check that post out, andysloanfitness.com. Just scroll down the post and you'll find it there quickly. Breakfast we've kind of already spoken about when we're talking about like pre-workout then, but in terms of when to have your breakfast, I'd probably shoot for either just after training, like we spoke about, or around sort of 10 o'clock, which basically gives your body time to wake up and actually get ready to get some food down your neck. As well as that, if you find that you're actually eating at maybe like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe when you're not actually hungry, by the time you get to 10 o'clock, you're going to be hungry already, and you're going to have to eat again. What I find generally, if I'm actually trying to drop a bit of weight, ready for like a race or something, at the minute I'll typically kind of eat. I'll generally in life I'll kind of have a breakfast like relatively early in the morning, like 7 o'clock maybe. But if I'm actually trying to drop a bit of weight, which I find relatively difficult because I'm relatively lean anyway, is I'll actually sack off that and I'll just have my breakfast at 10 o'clock, because then I've actually kind of skipped, but in essence kind of skipped that first meal of the day, which I generally don't actually need. So I'd say, yeah, as I said, try and get your breakfast down either straight after training or around 10 o'clock is pretty good. And again, what you're going to eat is something you just need to kind of need to plan that into your week. All right, and then we talk about lunch. Okay, when you're going to have lunch, it's an easy one. Lunchtime, okay? I don't know why I put it on there, but lunch, get it down lunchtime, okay? So sometime in the afternoon is great. Dinner time, again, I mean, this is going to be depicted by your life, and when you get home from work, how long it takes you to cook and all that sort of crap. So, I mean, ideally, you're not going to eat too late at night, but if your life dictates that, a couple of days a week, you're not going to eat till 8, 9 o'clock, then fine. That's just how it is. But obviously, try not to eat too late on in the evening, generally, just because sometimes it can kind of disrupt your sleep, and make you feel a bit shite when you wake up in the morning as well. In terms of snacks, do you need them? Depends really. Some people do, some people don't. If you do need them, if you feel that you do need them, you get a bit hungry, then check out the snack book, which you should have a copy of. There's be some hard copies of that soon for you guys as well. In terms of getting hungry, you shouldn't find that you're actually getting too hungry on this program, and in fact, you should. A lot of people generally find they're eating more than they would do normally. But if you are getting a bit hungry, then it kind of is a bit natural, because chances are, if you've been kind of overeating in the past, and now it might be that you've kind of gone the other way, and now you're eating a little bit less than you were before, you're going to feel a bit hungry because you're not throwing quite so much food that you don't need down your neck. So if you are getting a little bit hungry, then do the little things like that we talked about before. So make sure we're getting protein down with like every meal. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, get some sort of protein down there. Make sure you're loading up on the veggies, and if you need like a little snack, get a little snack down there. But again, make sure it's squeaky clean and something that's actually going to help you rather than hinder you. And then the last thing with regard to the domination, I'll kind of open it up for some questions for you guys in a minute. Last thing with regard to this is pictures, food diaries, measurements, Coach Cool. That's what I decided to call myself today. Basically, make sure you've got your before and after pictures, or certainly your before pictures done. So you really should have done those at the very start of the program. If you haven't done them, get them the hell done. Okay, so important, great motivation as well. And basically, if you get to the end of the 4 weeks and you're like, I just don't think I've changed. If you then look at your before picture and then take your after picture, you'll find, oh my word, I'm a completely different person. So do make sure you get those done. Your food diaries and your measurements, get those things emailed to me every single week as well. I want to see those. I want to help you out, okay, as much as possible. So if, for instance, maybe you do need a bit more guidance, or you're unsure if you've been eating right and getting things bang on the money, then do make sure you're sending me those across. So send me your food diary, send me your measurements, blah 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 blah. If I can't see it, or if you're not telling me about it, then I can't help you. Everything in my head is, wow, they must be getting on great because no one said anything, okay? If something's not quite right, then bang it over to me. As I said, I can have a look, hit you right back, and make sure you can really completely dominate it. And then obviously using me as much as you need to, okay? Obviously you got me in the Facebook group. I'm banging blog posts up and that kind of left, right, and centre for you guys to read, which I only chuck them up there because I think you need to read them, and it can actually help you out. So do just use me as much as you need. If you need to get on the phone, and give us a call or a text or an email or whatever, and we can get you hooked up and make sure that you're actually going to kick the arse out of the program. So look, I'm going to open it up for questions now, because that's actually I think that's the last slide. Yeah, that's the last one. So what I'm going to do, because I don't know if you guys can see the chat thing for some reason. You should be able to, but I don't know why you can't. So all I'll do, I'll kind of open up a list of attendees and I'll kind of unmute your microphone. And if you've got a question, just shout it out within like 5 seconds. And if not, then I'll kind of just move on to the next person. So Alison, if you've got any questions, you should be able to pipe up. Anything?
Yeah, well, why don't we allow pork?
Pork, generally, because pork in the UK, it's not really the greatest quality of meat usually, and a lot of the pork sauces that people will eat are actually kind of usually the processed one. You know, if I said to someone, "Oh, we can have pork," then a lot of the time they go and like get some like bacon or gammon, which is like pretty highly processed. So that's where we kind of bin that off. And it's also obviously one of the kind of, you know, fattier meats, and where fat's kind of good, we don't, you know, you don't want to go overboard on like the salt or saturated fat, which you'll get in something like pork. Anything else?
No.
Right, well, I'm going to put you on mute, and next up is Charlene. Anything from you, my dear? I can't hear her, so we should move on. Big Dave, you got anything for me, buddy?
No, thanks, Andy.
All right. Top man, see you in the morning, buddy. All right, we got next. Julia, anything from you, madam? Sorry, yeah, speak up. I can't really hear you very well. Yeah, portion sizes is a tough one, really, because I mean everyone's kind of going to be a little bit different on that. I think the most important thing I can say with your portion sizes is get as much veggies down your neck as you want, and things like salad. If you're satisfied, stop eating. Don't be afraid to leave stuff on your plate, because you can always box it up and you know, use it the next day if you need to. So if you're feeling satisfied, just stop eating. Cool. All right. Kate Richardson. You got anything for me, madam? Sorry, are you talking? I can't really hear. All right, we're going to say goodbye to Kate. Who we got next? Clara. And you got any questions, madam? Negative. Right. Gibson, you got anything, madam?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Roger that. That's me for a win. Rachel Hall, anything, madam? Negative. Oh, she's there. Do you have any questions?
Rachel, yeah?
Yeah, you got anything?
Can you ever have wheat again?
Can you ever have what?
Wheat again.
Yes. Did you miss the very first slide?
I did. I missed the very first one.
Whoa. Yeah, basically, yeah. What we kind of went through at the very start is everything you're booting out. It's not a case of you're never ever going to eat it again. What we're doing is getting rid of it, so we can actually allow your body to kind of start improving itself from the inside out. So yeah, don't think you're never going to have like a cup of coffee or like a slice of toast again or something. What I'd say is watch the recording of the video when I bang it back out there, and that will kind of explain that a bit better for you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. That's brilliant.
Tip top. All right, catch you in a mo. All right, Sarah, what about yourself?
Hello?
Yo, how you going?
Yeah, my question is, yes, fine. As a vegetarian, I find it quite hard to cut down on the carbs on non-training days. It's quite hard, I feel, without to make a meal out of vegetables and pulses.
Yeah, you guys are awkward as hell. No, that's yeah, yeah, no. So I mean, what sort of carby sauces are you kind of getting down generally, like on like a day?
Potatoes, rice.
Cool, and I'm guessing you kind of mix in like
quinoa.
That's all. Yeah, oh, you're bang on that now, aren't you? That's good. Yeah, cool. So I mean, getting your things like your beans and pulses are obviously a winner down. It's obviously a winner getting all that sort of stuff in there. Being a veggie kind of, obviously throws out a whole pile of foods that you obviously can eat. So it's a case of kind of adapting and kind of finding things that are going to make. The biggest thing is to kind of make sure that you're satisfied throughout the day and not getting hungry. So for instance, making sure that whatever protein you're getting down your neck, you are really trying to get something down sort of 3 times a day, because that's the thing that's actually going to kind of keep you feeling full for longer, as opposed to like the actual sort of starchy carb kind of thing. All right.
I've got to go now, so tennis lessons.
All right, cool. Enjoy your lesson. Say hello to Julian.
Thank you. Yeah, bye.
All right. Tara, can she hear me? I don't know. Nah, no problem. We'll get rid of her. Vicky, you got anything, dear? Vicky.
Hello.
Yo, how you doing?
Hello. Oh, cool. Okay, you can hear me. Good.
Yeah.
Am I loud enough?
You are very loud. Yeah, I'm almost deafened.
Sorry. I put a question on there. How about chopped onion and red peppers and stuff like that in an omelette in the morning, or is that too much?
No.
Like roughage.
No, get it down. Yeah, get that down. Yeah. Any veg, like I was saying earlier on, get your veggies down in the morning. Absolute winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question is gluten-free bread or something like that in the future. Is that what we're trying to avoid? Is the gluten, or is it anything else?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the gluten-free products have kind of got other sort of like crap in there. Certainly for the first couple of weeks, I'd bin them off.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the things I'm actually a big fan of is like the kind of gluten-free like pasta you can get, because I'm a bit of a pasta fiend. But you can get like for instance, like 100% organic brown rice-based pasta, which is actually pretty good. Something like that's pretty good. But it's, if ever you're unsure of anything, just if you're in a supermarket, if you take a picture of the like what's in it and then text it me, I can have a look and say yes or no if you want. That's no problem.
Okay, brilliant.
Alright.
Lactose-free milk.
Yeah, what sort of stuff are you talking about there? Like soy or from dairy or what?
No. You can buy lactose-free milk on the shelf in Asda.
Yeah. I'd still steer clear of that. If you were looking for like a milk alternative, I'd probably go for either like almond milk, like the unsweetened one's best, or you can get the one called Kara, Kara, which is like a coconut milk based one, which is a lot better as well.
Are they really sweet though?
No. The unsweetened almond milk's not sweet at all, and that Kara one's not sweet either.
Okay, and one last question then about prawns.
Yeah, they're fine.
In Asda they sell prawns that have been cooked, and they sell them like 3 packs for £10.
Yeah.
Is that something?
Yeah, prawns fine.
Are they okay to eat?
Yeah, prawns fine. Yeah, get that down. No worries.
Okay, because I love them. I can eat them till the cows come home. So okay, fine.
All right, tip top. All right, I'm gonna switch you off, and I shall see you in the morning.
All right, cheers.
Ta-ta.
All right, cheers.
All right, almost there. She's disappeared. Tess, you got anything for me last up? Hello? All right, she's not there, I don't think. Magic. Right, I think we have got through everyone. So look, anyway, guys, if you've got any other questions, just pop them up in the Facebook group, and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. But otherwise, good job for logging on tonight. Hopefully that's been helpful for you. I'll do my best to get the recording out of this pretty soon as well. Hopefully it's actually recorded okay. Other than that, guys, I'll look forward to seeing you in the morning. For you guys on the fitness camp, the morning session is down at the college in the morning. So yeah, be down at Weymouth College 6:29 at the absolute latest if you're training in the morning. Then the evening is obviously 6:15 at outside Cafe Oasis. I'll bring a set of gloves and some earmuffs because shit's going to get cold. I'll catch you soon, guys. Take care and have an awesome evening, whatever you're up to. Ta-ta.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected.